Well, good day, all Prismo shareholders. Welcome to Prismo in the News. As you probably read by now, we had a news release this morning and announced some changes to our management team. I'm joined here by our founder and former CEO, now co-founder and Chief Exploration Officer, Craig Gibson, and with our new president, Mr. Steve Robertson. So, Steve, I'll ask you the first question, which is to please either introduce yourself for those who don't know you, and reintroduce you for the many shareholders who have already met with you and spoken with you.
Okay, well, thanks very much, Alain. Yeah, my name's Steve Robertson. I'm a geologist by training and background. I actually have 35 years experience in the mining business. Much of that time was spent with Imperial Metals Corporation, a mid-tier operator and developer based in British Columbia, where we explored, developed, and operated mines. And I got to do a lot of things there. I had a number of different roles, and so it was a really good training ground for me, gave me a good breadth of experience. After 24 years there, I became an entrepreneur and went out and started to work in the junior mining sector and running and really trying to finance and move forward junior exploration companies. First shot at it was with a company where we had a beautiful discovery in northern British Columbia, and that was working with Peter McGaw. We went through a couple of M&A transactions with that vehicle. And then I went on to form another company, which actually generated the hot Breccia project that we're now going to be working on with Prismo. So it's been a long and interesting road to get here, but very excited to be here with the team.
Thank you very much. Craig, I'll read your quote in the press release, which says, "My position as president and CEO was intended to be temporary during Prismo's startup, as my strength has always been advancing projects through exploration work." So can you expand on that and how you feel about the change and how you feel about focusing more on exploration as we move forward together as a team?
Yeah, that's right, Elaine. If you recall when we formed Prismo, the idea was I was going to be president and CEO for a time and then eventually transition into somebody who was probably a lot more apt at that. And I think this is a good time to do that. We have 3 projects now under active exploration, 2 in Mexico and now the hot Breccia. I'm a hands-on exploration guy, and I like to do the field work and run things. So I think it's a good time to make this change, and I welcome everybody to their new positions.
Well, thank you, Craig. And for those who wonder why your connection is unstable, it is because you're somewhere in the middle of Arizona at the Kearney Inn and spending a lot of time with your team on the property. Steve, you mentioned that you generated the hot Breccia, the project well. What do you like about it, and what are the next steps for Prismo at hot Breccia?
Yeah, this is a project that comes along very seldom, and I think it's a rare opportunity for us to go out and really have a good opportunity to find something of substantial size and grade. We're in the right district. We're in elephant country, as the saying goes, and we've got world-class copper deposits in every direction from hot Breccia. So I really like the pedigree in the neighborhood. And, this is a project that people were here exploring over 50 years ago, thinking about this same idea. And then because of circumstances of the mine shutting down right next door and so on, nobody's done any work here for over 50 years. So it gives us a really fresh opportunity to come back in with a modern set of exploration tools and a fresh set of eyes. And I think that this is probably the type of opportunity that's going to catch a lot of headlines.
Yes, and the other change that is mentioned in the press release is my title from executive chairman to CEO. It doesn't change really my role. Just changing the title here as it relates to me. Craig, so you have been in the field at Hot Breccia, as we just mentioned. What are you seeing? What are you trying to achieve with this latest exploration campaign at the famous Arizona Copper Belt?
Well, we're finding some pretty neat things. You guys were out here a week ago or so, and you saw some of those fragments of mineralized rock coming up in the intrusion that we've talked about. We're mapping that unit out and expanded several hundred meters in length and finding more and more fragments of not only mineralized rock, but several of the sedimentary rock sequence and also probably that underlie those we think we're seeing now. So it's things becoming more and more interesting. The size of that footprint's a little bit larger. We're doing all the work to expand that mineralized zone, and I think we'll be pretty pleased after this period here.
Well, that is great. And Steve and I are going over to Europe on Wednesday, well, tonight, and we'll be meeting with some investors. So it's great to hear that things are going well. And again, I want to thank all of our shareholders and prospective shareholders for joining us. This is the team, Steve, Craig, and I, and might have changed a little bit the titles around, but we will continue to work together to create shareholder value the way we have over the last year and a bit here. Steve came on board as an advisor back in January 2023, and we're very pleased that he accepted to take increased responsibility and a bigger role at Prismo Metals. So thank you again for joining us.